Okay, it's time to stop now. So how you guys doing? So who have done your online group meditation already? You and her? How is that? Good. What is your topic?
Meditation.
Buddhist meditation. Easy. Anyone finish? You and what is your topic? Huh? Okay. All right, that's great. And so you guys have no problem to submit them, right? Yeah. If yeah. Yeah, so remember I gave you two options, right? One is to work with your partner to do the online group presentation. You work well with your partner? You do the paper, analysis paper. That's the topic there.
Okay.
You don't know that?
No, I've done it. I just don't know where to turn it in.
Oh, just submit on. You don't see that? Okay, right here. You see right here? Right here. Just submit over there, that's all. Okay. For the paper, have you signed up yet? The paper? The paper? Where is it? Oh, you sign? You sign.
Oh, wait, sign in.
Yeah, please say your name. So make sure I have your name. Otherwise, you may miss. Yeah, please. The paper. Where is the paper? Oh, I get. Where's the paper?
Who has the sign-in sheet?
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, guys. Oh, you can sign here again here. Yeah, please go up there and sign your name. Sign your name. One, make sure that the guy here can get the name. Please number, please. Thank you. And please make sure to log in the Zoom too, okay? Oh, yeah, how about you can sit down, you can pass around the paper, otherwise just wake up. Okay, you can sit down and pass around. Okay, yeah, please with the question here. So, yeah, you can pass around. Yeah. Okay, so one thing I'd like to ask you guys, for the final presentation, I may need only one or two students to present in class on the last day, December the 5th. Anyone volunteer? December the 5th. That's the last meeting we have here. So who like to do in-class presentation? I just want to have one, at least one or two volunteer.
Do we get bonus points?
Huh?
Bonus points?
Bonus? Let me see. Wow. Because we have only 1 hour and a half, so one or two students, that's all. Okay. Anyone volunteer now? I let you know. Okay. All right. So who have done your analysis paper? You done? Okay. All right. So you're working on that, right? Now, now the paper right? The field trip report, right? So who have been at my center before? Okay. So you're welcome to write your field trip report, or you can go to different center. It's up to you. Okay. But please remember, go to the list I show you here, right? Remember this. Here, right here, Buddhist Center in Houston. I provide that list. You can go those center that I checked before. Otherwise, let me know. Okay. If you go to let's say the Kwanti Temple here, that's not a Buddhist center. Okay. All right. So any question? Any question before we move on? How your paper? How you like the yes?
Are you the paper referring to the analysis? Is that like our Bible paper? Or you're talking about something that we do your presentation?
So I give you two options.
Right.
If you have a partner,
Yeah.
who is that? All right. Yeah, work well. You done? Almost. Okay. So if you work with your partner, that's okay. If let's say if you could not work well with your partner, if your partner drop out or he still doesn't want to, you can write your paper, analysis paper. All right. But you have to choose only one. Only you follow analysis paper here. You see here, online documentation or write an analysis paper, and this is the guideline and group it for write analysis paper. You have only one topic. You write about the contribution of here, guideline here. Alan, yeah. Right there. You see the topic, contribution of Buddhism to the world. If you want to write it analysis paper. Is that clear now? Okay. All right.
Signing in.
Any more question?
When is the field trip report due?
Yes.
When is the field trip report due?
I think I may change probably October the 29th. I may change that day. Okay. And I give you guys one more chance to get your 15 extra point. October the 22nd, we have special celebration at my center. If you go there, you have 15 extra point. And you can write this paper. Yes.
Is that information on campus?
I will make the announcement probably sometime this week or next. Okay. Any more question? So you know, right? Up to now, right? You know how I grade the paper, right? I try to comment about your writing and so forth, right? This so. Yeah, I really strict on the grammatical error, especially check with the typo, right? Some of you can make some silly mistake, right? Okay, so anything more?
Professor, I did have a question. Professor,
so please let me know, okay, if you want to do for final. I need only 1 or 2 students, okay? All right, so let's move on to our discussion today. See here. All right, these are the questions. We have 17 questions in total. Okay, let's see here. No number 13, 11, 12. And 2, so it's okay. All right. So if you have the question, 3 of you. This number 4, Victor, you want to move different questions? We have 2 written now because we have plenty of questions. Victor, you want to go different question? And this one to number 7. Jesse? Huh? Gemma? Holland? What? Oh, you want to move different one, please? 2 students per question, that's enough. And number 16, Brian, Arena, and Eric, who like to move? Yeah, move to different number, please. Number 16. Okay. All right, so anyone of you 16 want to move? No. Okay, so if you see your friends here, go with your friends and talk to them about the question. For example, Tessa and Roland, Lee and Sarah, go with your friends. Jesse and Jenna, go and talk with your friends. Okay? Yeah, go and talk with your friends. Sydney and Alexis, go talk with your friends. Oh, we have more. Okay. Oh, right, thank you. Yeah. Angel and Anne. Go ahead. Lee, Austin. Doing good job. Okay, for that. Go talk with Alan. Where you, Alan? Which number? Oh, okay. Which number you want to talk to? Okay. Yeah. And with Joe. All right. If you have your friends, go talk to them. Okay. You pick a new question, huh? Take a question. Yeah. Write your name, please. Write name first. Write name. Yeah, write name, please. Yes.
You know who Milan is?
Who is that?
Milan?
Oh, Milan.
How
Right
to
there.
rename
You want
how to
go
rename
there?
victory
Go there. Yeah, go there.
here.
And click on the little three
click on
dots
the
at the top
question
corner. The top right of your name. Yeah, right there.
Don't go with two. Yeah, go ahead. Right now.
Should say rename at the very bottom.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sydney here. Sydney. Oh, Alan. You have to Sydney, right? Oh, probably over there, Alan. Right there.
Excuse me. Sao lại cái
Oh,
Why?
it went away. I think you have to go on mute. The little, at the very bottom left corner. If you get to go on mute, then it won't pop up.
Can you do?
Yes.
Monks view their bodies as temples in a sense.
What do you say?
Do Buddhist monks value their bodies to be like temples in a sense, like the mind or inner self?
It's quite a little bit different from Hinduism. Not the temple, but it's very valuable.
Okay, yeah, because we're talking about like toxic substances, and I figure monks value what they have, their minds, their bodies. They don't
Always have the mind.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah. Say your name. Say your name. Yeah, say your name, please. Yeah. You have pen?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so pick the question to talk with everyone. Pick the question and go talk with them. No, no, go up here.
Okay.
This one. The question. If you have two, don't go with two. No, don't go with two.
Don't go with you.
Don't go with two. Go under question. And I don't know. Don't go with any question that without two because two is not enough. Yes. Yes.
Wait, so question now, yeah? Question now, do.
Yeah, it's up to you.
French on floor.
No, this two have enough.
Okay.
Yes.
Number nine.
Okay, go. Read hello.
Yeah.
Him, right? You know him?
Yeah.
All right, go with him. You have a question?
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding about their meditative techniques.
Oh.
Like I know on this page they talked about like.
Sometimes you may need to search on the Google search. Okay, you guys done? No? You guys done? Yes.
That is the explain why. Right here, when it's like income accounting, the situation below more time, that is the base. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if yeah, please log into the Zoom too, okay, and keep the cam on, please, okay. Since we have 17 questions, let's okay, you ready? Ready? All right. Okay. How about I give you a couple of more minutes? Okay, go ahead. Let's get a couple of more minutes, okay?
Well, I was just gonna say, you're also a bit older, say, it's not necessarily grade. This doesn't include basically that like at some point. Where like if we went from and then I think it's saying that they just but I feel like I don't know about it.
I know some question that you may not find in the book. So just go to the book Google, remember I told you, right? The two sources, book Google and the Scholar Google to type to find them. Okay. For example, let's you say if you want to find the difference between Mahayana and Theravada, you type in. And this is all article is there. Okay. But for the sake of discussion, you can do the Google search. But for writing, you have to go here. For discussion, you can go to the Google search. That's okay. All right. So let's start with number one then. Okay. Yeah, please. Number one, Kai. Well, read the question, please. Okay, good question. Go ahead. Number one.
Hi, everyone. Question one.
Can you yeah, turn on the mic there so that everyone can see, we can hear from your computer too. Turn on the mic too. Turn on your camera, your mic.
I can use my.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. Question one. Re-examine the meanings of Buddha, Dhammakaya, and Buddha nature. According to Buddhism, Buddha does not refer to any individual. Buddha is the title of a being who is enlightened one. The Buddha also refers to the person who has woken up due to the insight of the true nature of existence, including suffering, impermanence, and non-self or an Atman. Buddha represents the qualities of compassion, wisdom, nonviolence, friendliness, and generosity. In other words, the Buddha suggests the perfection of spiritual qualities. Dhammakaya. Dhammakaya means the Buddha teachings, the truth about the nature, including suffering, impermanence, and enlightenment. Buddha nature means the potential for any ancient being to become a Buddha. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone want to add more? What's Dhammakaya? This is a term, the technical term. After this class, please, you need to remember that. Okay. So those are the basic one: Buddha, Bodhisattva, Arhat, Nirvana, Zen, and so forth, and Dhammakaya. Okay. Anyone want to add more about this? So when you come across this term, Dhammakaya, that means one of the Buddha body, what they call the Trikaya. Let me share with you here. All right, here. You see here. You guys can you see? It's too small. Right. Dhammakaya is the embodiment of the truth. In Buddhist view, everyone has what we call Dhammakaya, or Buddha nature, or the good nature. Not only human beings, but even the cat, the dog, the any beings has that nature. But for those Buddha, they have activated, they have achieved that Dhammakaya or Dhamma body. That's the first one, and the other one is what they call Nima Yamkara, the physical manifestation of the body, like the historical Buddha. And the next one is Sambo Yakara. That's the reward enjoyment body of the Buddha. So those are what they call the three body of a Buddha. Okay. So unless you want to be a Buddhist scholar, otherwise this is the basic term. Okay. All right. So let's move on to next question. Number two. No one talk about number two. I want to work on the number two. How about number three? Re-examine the meaning of Arhat. Give a Buddhist narrative about an Arhat. You have Tessa and what is it, colon? Oh, okay. Yeah, please. Tessa? Well, okay, go ahead, please. What's mean by Arhat?
Our question was to re-examine the meaning of Arhat and give a Buddhist narrative.
Can you turn on the mic, please? Yeah.
So an arhat is somebody who has reached enlightenment, but they differ from a Buddha or a Bodhisattva as they are not omniscient and they don't hold the power to spread enlightenment to others. Um,
That's all.
Mute. Example of an arhat would be
No. So those are the basic terms. Before you finish this class, you should know them. Actually, I don't like to have multiple choice, but if I give you a multiple choice, you need to know. Okay? Yeah, go ahead, please. What's about arhat? What's mean?
gained enlightenment and be reborn.
Yeah, that's the point. Arhat, that's the one we can say the holy monk, that's the one that attain nirvana, arhatship, that they would not be reborn in this cycle of rebirth anymore. Why is that?
When you become you end the cycle of samsara.
Yeah, they cut off all the passion. There's no more desire. There's no more hatred. There's no more envy. Imagine that you walk on the street and somehow you see that person. What do you think? The one that doesn't have any more desire, any more anger. Have you ever met anyone like that before in your life? Probably yes, but you don't recognize. Who knows, right? Yeah. Okay. So of course, it's pretty rare, unless they have some kind of mental transformation, mental training. Otherwise, not easy to transform the anger, right? Not easy to transfer the desire, envy, and so forth. So those are, that was the term, the one that cut off all that type of passion. So no one can tame them. That's what we call arhat. Okay. All right. Thank you. The next one, V. Sarah, number 4. Explain the important step to become a Buddhist. Simple. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
In order to be physically become a Buddhist, we have to go to a temple and take refuge to the 3 jewels, like take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Then we will vow to take the 5 precepts. And she will say that, what is the 5 precepts?
The first
Can you
one.
turn on, please?
Oh, yeah.
The first one is to not to kill. The second one is not to steal. Third is not to cheat. 4 is not to lie. And the 5th one is basically no drinks or drugs of any kind.
Yes. Yes. Are you too? What's your name?
Yeah.
You have your name?
I came in late, but I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like to choose different questions? That's okay, because we have 2 now. Is this okay?
Okay, is there another one that's open?
Huh?
Is there another one?
Yeah,
that's-
we have one there. We can pick up those questions. Okay? Yeah. Here, I have the question from all of you. Remember, the first 4 are universal, right? No feeling, right? In any tradition, right? No stealing, the comments, right? No misconduct, no lying. But the last one is different. Why?
Because it's intoxicating
Yeah.
drinks or drugs.
All the tradition, right? Even the priests, they can drink alcohol, but not for us. Why is that? What's the difference?
Because in order to be
No, no.
like
Yeah.
So in order to be like mindfulness, you have to keep your mind and brain like clean. So if you smoke or drinks, it's gonna mess up the brain or like the thinking. So you won't be like clever and see like to be mindful.
So most accident occur during the holiday season, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year holiday. Why? Right win, drinking right win, that's all. When we take intoxicant, right, drinking alcohol, so far we learn our mind, we couldn't control our mind. Clearly, and physically will be harmful, be toxic. That's why the last one, what we call parental precept. If we keep that, we can keep our body and mind pure, and we would have that kind of clarity in our mind, would not commit other offenses. All right, so thank you. The next one, Angela, and number 5.
So number 5.
Turn on, please.
So number 5 says to articulate why the 5th lady precept abstaining from taking intoxicant substances is considered as a preventative measure for other cardinal codes, i.e. no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, and no lying. And so kind of going off what V said, whenever you drink or like take intoxicating substances, it alters your mind, and then that can impact your judgment on things you do. So like you said, like drinking and driving, because it like increases your confidence in your driving abilities while drunk.
And to kind of add on to that, there's the Eightfold Noble Path, and it talks about right speech, well, for first, right view, right thought, right speech, right bodily action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And by preventing and abstaining from these toxic substances, like she was saying, you keep your mind more pure. You can keep your speech more pure. When your mind is pure, the mind is central for everything, essentially. The way you think, the way you talk, the way you live. And so we see that those that participate in alcohol, they usually have poor judgment. They have poor judgment, and the actions they make, a lot of them end up like driving drunk or things like that, and they kill people. So you're already breaking the killing code, and you're putting others in danger, and you're being selfish by driving under the influence like that. So it's just a great preventative measure to abstain from those toxic substances.
Who live in the dorm or who live around the campus? You can have fun Friday night. Watch out, right? So again, yeah, definitely you have fun, but be careful. Yes.
And also like sexual misconduct, you hear how many alcohol-related incidences there are.
They cannot control their body and mind. That's
Exactly.
the problem there.
So
yeah. Yeah, I know this is the college year. College time you have good time, have fun together, but be careful. Okay. All right, thank you. Number 7, no, number 6. Alan and Sydney. Alan, your turn, please. Read the question, Alan.
Explain how freedom of religion and free choice coupling with no dogma, no coerce, and no condemnation were the most acceptable to students. Are these approaches compatible?
Turn on, please. Turn on the mic, please. Yeah, go ahead. No, you respond. Yeah.
Oh, I'll let her go
Okay,
first.
go ahead, Sydney. Turn on, Sydney.
Okay. So within Buddhism, I was talking about like how we have like free choice and it's like a natural law in Buddhism, and people have like a choice to do whatever they want in their lives, and it's not right to try to like control them or try to like make them go in a different path, because I feel like it goes with also like what they were talking about in the last question, with the Eightfold Path and how it's like about morality and understanding that people have like that freedom of choice and you can't try to like change them and how like they think and stuff like that. And I'll let Alan talk next.
I think adding on to that, free choice kind of like frees you from like confinement and like a set of rules, which could possibly cause suffering. And so that's why free choice and like freedom of religion, no coerce is an essential like teaching of Buddhism. And Sydney and I think that the approaches are pretty compatible with the modern era because they align a lot with like young people's beliefs. That's because like young people, they strive to be free and have free choice. And like some examples are like the LGBTQ community and some like abortion activists.
It can also go like both ways too. If you think about like in the like elder range, I feel like their mindsets are different, so they might try to push thoughts onto like younger generations, even though they're trying to be more free and have that kind of choice with their lives. But I think it goes hand in hand with that.
So again, how many people do this here? Raise your hand. So, do you, your parents force you to go to the temple or you go yourself? What can speak?
I go with my parents.
Go with your parents, but they force you or you want to go with them?
I willingly go.
And so, Alan, can you tell them to go to temple by yourself or you can do so?
They used to tell me to go, but I just go like by myself sometimes, like out of my choice.
Yeah, that's a Buddhist spirit, right? It say that the temple doors is open, whether you want to come or not, that's your choice, not our choice. Because spirituality is like your choice. Like when you sick, go to see a doctor. The doctor couldn't force you to go to see the doctor. Like only when you're sick, you can go to see them. So there's spirituality, so there's Buddhism. So if you need the spiritual support, you go to the temple. That's quite different. Right? We don't from other traditions, right? We don't condemn. If you don't go to the temple every Sunday, this is your own choice. That's what the spirit there. All right, so thank you. Number 7, Gemma, please.
So our question was, describe how Buddhist laity supports the monastic community.
Your name?
Yeah, my name's Jessie. So lay followers, they're not monks and they're not nuns. And the monastic community survives with the support of Buddhist lay people, lay followers. Lay followers typically, they observe the 5 training precepts.
What's that?
The 5 training precepts, is that?
precepts.
The 5 precepts.
Okay.
Yeah, am I saying it right? Okay, and they donate things such as flowers, money, clothing, and in return for their donations, they acquire good karma.
Okay.
So just like Jesse said, they depend on their community to fund temples and just like their living habits. The website I was looking at, they call it gift economics, which basically just implies it's not necessarily like an exchange of goods. It's just kind of a giving of something. And then in return, like Jesse said, they get good karma or they get spiritual guidance and things like that. But yeah, basically the lay community donates food, money, time, labor to keep things going.
Yeah, again, this happened in any tradition, right? Like the priest, the pastor, give the sermon, and the lay people come to do the Buddhist people. So for lay people, they come to support the monastic communities financially, materially, and in return, the Buddhist, the monastic community, the monks, give the advice, teaching on the Buddhist teaching. It's common in any tradition. Yes.
Someone on the chat is trying to get your attention.
What's this?
Oh, someone on the chat is trying to get your attention.
Someone on the Zoom, they're online, they're not in
chat.
Professor, can you hear me?
Aaron.
Can you hear me, Professor? Hello?
Yes.
It says on Canvas, it says 2 different things. On the information and assignments, it says that we have an online meeting, and then on a completely separate page, it says that we have a face-to-face meeting. So I'm at my dorm right now. I tried to text you and email you, but you didn't.
Are you here? Aaron, here?
I'm not there. I'm at my dorm.
You're not there? Okay. So what's your question?
It says that we have an online meeting right now on Canvas. I still want to participate, but I'm not there.
That's okay. That's
Right there, but if you go out in the modules, it said second face to face.
In the announcement, I mean that's
face.
yeah. Let me share with you.
But I see what he means.
In the announcement,
Yeah, it says in information and assignments that we have an online meeting, but then in a completely separate page, it says we have a face-to-face meeting. So I'm physically at my dorm right now.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, can I still participate? Can I do like question 12?
Okay. Right. Let
Okay.
me, when is question I will turn to you. 12, right?
Yes.
Okay, here. Mentoring, right? This one. I released, yeah. Can you see, Aaron?
Yes, I can see. It was just saying something different on Canvas, but I see that.
Okay, so please, okay, you have any
I started.
basically what I did here. All right, so let's move on then. Okay, so number is that number 8? Go ahead, Sydney and Alice. Maybe.
Okay, our question is explain how the 4 Buddhist holy places in India are the most sacred places for the Buddhists around the world. And I'm gonna do the first 2 and she's gonna do the next 2. So the first one is Lumbini, and that's where Buddha was born. And the second one was Bodh Gaya, where he gained enlightenment.
The third one is Sarna, when he pronounced his first teaching, and then cut. I'm gonna try to pronounce this correctly. Kush Angara, where he died and attained final nirvana. And they're all in South Asia.
So what is
because that's great.
fine?
Yeah, that's where he did everything.
Because the first place where Lumbini is where the Buddha was born, right?
Yes.
Bodh Gaya, where Buddha attained enlightenment.
Mhm.
Third,
His first teaching.
the deep heart, where the Buddha first gave teaching. The last one, Kushinaga, where the Buddha passed away. Let me show you guys the clip about, let's see here. It's just short clip. Okay. Yeah, so so that again, like Mecca, right? For Muslim, right? Mecca, right? So they go there for the holy places, and so does the so do the Buddhists. All right, so number 9, please. Number 9.
Yes, so number 9 question is discuss the construction of the Buddha Gaya temple and its renovation in the early 20th century. So I said between the 1901 and 1909, extensive restoration work was carried out under the supervision of Alexander Cunningham and others, and the temple was carefully documented and damaged portions were reconstructed, ensuring the original Gupta era design was retained.
Okay.
I was talking a little bit more about the original construction. It was built by Emperor Asoka in the 3rd century, 3rd century BC. It's one of the earliest Buddhist temples, and it's built entirely from brick. It's still standing, and it's considered to have had significant influence in the development of brick architecture over the centuries.
So Ashoka, I remember we studied about him, right? That's kind of Bodh Gaya stupa. In the year 250 BC, when he toured around the Buddhist holy places, right? Yeah, it's still succeed now. All right, thank you. Number 10. Number 10. Rachel, Dylan? Yeah, please.
Our question was articulate how most Buddhists strongly abide to the first laity precept, no killing, that reinforces their non-violent stance since the Buddhist inception. Um, Buddhists abide by this laity by avoiding the killing of any living being, even things such as ants and mosquitoes. Of course, there's less negative karma if there was no intent to kill, such as if you accidentally stepped on an ant. However, you should try and make a conscious effort to avoid killing in any circumstance, as all life is believed to be sacred.
To add on to that, so like I wrote down like they have some Buddhists are like vegetarians, so like the Mahayana practice, like they would be more strict on that, and they would typically like while the Tibetan and Theravada practice would give personal choice typically, and honestly, like if you're not unintentionally like kill, let's say you step on an insect like a June bug, if you're not unintentionally killing it, like it doesn't really like break the first precept, and it's mostly about overcoming desire and attachment over actually trying to ingest the meat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we discussed before too. This, I think, for number 2. Right, remember? Yeah, right, for week number 2, right? So the Turkish army, they killed thousands of Buddhist monks in the end of the 12th century. But for us, we didn't have any good about them. I don't know whether you watch any Kung Fu movie. Anyone love Kung Fu movie? All right, and most of the time, it have some kind of themes, right? When someone kill their parents, their relatives, and when they grow up, they will look for the assassinator, so that they can revenge. But in the Buddhism, we don't do that. Why is that? Why is it's not good to take revenge? Why? And even, yes, go ahead. What if they come to your house and harm your brother and sister and whoever? You stand still? Huh? What should you do then? Call 911 or try some means to protect yourself and other, right? But for us, we in one of the particular sutra, what they call Brahmana Sutra, it say that even if someone harm or kill our parents, we're not supposed to revenge. Is this a dream? What do you think? Yes.
What about like self-defense? Like,
yeah, definitely self-defense. That's why you see in some Kung Fu movie, right? You see the monk, the Shaolin monk, right? Yeah, they have the Kung Fu, but for protection, self-protection. Yeah, but not for harming others. Yeah.
not for like, pursuing,
Huh?
not for pursuing an attack, but for
That's the point. Okay, so thank you. Number 11, Mia. Only you, right, Mia?
Yes.
Yeah, please. Can you turn on the mic, please?
Yeah, my computer died.
Oh, okay. Can you share? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So in Buddhist practice, it's common for Theravada monks to make daily alms.
Yeah.
During these rounds, they visit local villages and silently walk down a path while collecting food from the people's winter. And the alms rounds provide an opportunity for villagers to make good merit or karma and also receive mindfulness teaching from them.
Yeah, let me share with you this short video clips. Who have the monk Egyptian around here? You seen them? Okay. Let me share with you here. This earth. So this the monk they go without another that they don't push food, but not we don't to collect the food. The food at the temple are that's different. Yeah. And why is that? Me and you why?
Yeah, so I read that, it's, they don't partake in agriculture. They don't do agriculture. Is that the?
What is it?
Agriculture, like they don't grow crops and stuff.
So they don't cook themselves. They don't grow vegetables. Yeah. But they can accept meat. That's different. First, we don't consume meat. We can talk about that later on. Okay. But anyway, you know why? You know why? Why? Can you explain why? This monk, there are monks, they can accept meat, Christian. So why?
Because they have to follow like the rules, like they can accept the meat, but they cannot hear or see the meat. Like I mean like they cannot hear that the meat is cooked for them, or they cannot know that meat is for them. Like they can know that.
Why?
Oh, it's because it's for like the first precept, like no killing. So it's just try to like grow the compassion for the animals and life beings.
That's the main reason. You understand all that? The main, yes. Because they go out, collect food, and whichever food like people have, they provide. So they accept without any permission. That's what about. Now the traditional we have a choice. We have a choice to go to the supermarket, the lay people have a choice between the food to the temple. So we stay away from consuming meat because meat related to the life, like our animals who want to preserve their life, who want to develop the compassion. Make sense? Huh? That's right. That's if you go from the Ravana tree forest from Mahayana. That's the difference. The southern one, they accept meat, but the northern one, the rest we don't. Yeah. Okay, that makes difference because we emphasize compassion and we have a choice. Okay. Thank you. David, number 12. Yeah, please. Read the question, please.
My question is, explain why Mahayana Buddhist monks do not practice alms round tradition, and they don't they do it a different way where the lay people they do things called a tea offering, where if enough money is donated, they make the Tibetan drink called hot butter tea, and they distribute it to the monks of all the monastery in their monastery, and so what I think is the reason why they do this instead of the traditional alms rounds tradition is that people can give you whatever kind of food they want, but you specifically only get the tea and only the tea. So you don't that's why they offer money instead of food.
So we are saying that temples, so people can bring food, but of course accept meat to make offerings, and of course we just mentioned recently, right? It happened every tradition, right? The priests and the pastors receive the material and financial support from lay people in return. We provide the spiritual support. That's what two-way support there. All right, thank you. Number 13, Angel.
Professor,
Yeah, please.
I'm
Your
still,
name?
I think Aaron wanted to do Aaron.
Aaron,
wanted to do-
go
I
ahead.
think he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Aaron. Can you turn on the mic, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Can you turn
Um,
on the cam? Good.
Right. So, one thing I wanted to add though is that specifically where Mahayana Buddhism is most prominent in like East Asian countries, it's pretty common where like monasteries and the villages they have a very, very big distance between them. I was reading like a lot of different things about it. But the distance between the monasteries and the communities are really, really, really big. So that's why things like almsgiving were probably a lot harder for East Asian countries where Mahayana Buddhism is more prominent versus other countries. So yeah.
And also one more. Really self either way. All right. So thank you. We have the 13.
So our question is compare and contrast the Mahayana and their, what is it? Theravada meditative techniques. So they both use meditation to like transform their rigid mental and emotional habits and troubled states of mind, basically to achieve a more peaceful and like tranquil mental state. So that's the similarities, but the difference is Mahayana, they focus on both like the interconnectedness of calming the mind and achieving insight. And then the Theravada, they really emphasize mostly the goal of gaining insight. And then Theravada is also organized around escaping the cycle of rebirth and reincarnation, where I read that Mahayana meditation aims to, of course, achieve enlightenment, but they also may choose to stay in reincarnation out of compassion.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, I have 3 points, just comparison differences between the one and two. So in Theravada, Buddha was non-vegetarian and followed the middle path. But in Mahayana, Buddha was vegetarian. And Theravada claimed that only monks could achieve nirvana, but in Mahayana, they claim that both monks and ladies could achieve them. One of the similarities would be they both committed to the teachings of the Noble Fourfold Truth and the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yeah, let me share with you one more time. In the okay, can you see mic now? And let me see M T here. In the Theravada, the process for the samatha concentration. Alright, it has as in mindful practice. There are 2 main practices. Right? Mahavishnu, yes, this time we have to do also we do what we call visualization. We can learn that. Chanting. You know what the chanting? I chant the sutras and the mantra. There. And besides concentration, mindfulness, like extended tradition belongs to Mahayana. Okay, we learn about that later on. All right, so thank you. Number 14, please.
So the question number 14 describe how Mahayana monk and nun can do the farm work, but they cannot consume meat. So they promote a compassion and non-harming toward all sentient being. So therefore, they have to follow a very strict diet, which includes meat, poultry, and fish. They have to rely on a plant-based food. So they have to be self-sufficient. They have to grow their own crop, such as rice, vegetable, and herb. This allows them to sustain by their own without needing outside source for food.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Victoria.
To add on what Leo said, there are other reasons why the Mahayana monks and nuns do not consume meat while they're doing their farm work. Is because they manage the welfare of animals, meaning that they avoid eating animals to prevent the suffering and killing of animals for food. There's ethical considerations where they grow their own food to reduce ecological footprints and maintain a simple life. And then there are the elm rounds where they receive food offerings from lay people, which can provide them with vegetarian meals.
Yeah, in the past, yeah, many of them were the farmers too. They have some farm, they have some land to cultivate. Of course, not nowadays, but still, there's still some of them. So basically, they are self-sufficient. They do by themselves. They do the farm. They did the farming. They cook for themselves and so forth. All right, and but remember, they cannot submit. They cannot raise chicken, pig, and so forth because of compassion there. All right, so thank you. Number 15. 15, me and Austin. Turn on, please. You know, turn on. Is it on? You go ahead. We can hear you. Sorry. Can you turn on the mic? Yeah, go ahead.
Number 15. The question is, describe the life activities, regulation, personal situation, and missionary or Buddhist monk. So usually the lifestyle of a monk consists of practice, meditation, and studying, as well as teaching. The purpose of this is to gain mental and emotional stability. They have a set schedule of what time they meditate, which is kind of similar to and they usually meditate early in the morning or early in the evening. They do services or work which is considered a teaching in the temple or like helping those who are in the rural areas. They also study Buddhist teaching as well, and they also teach others.
Okay.
Nuns are kind of like monks in the way that they do have like some of the same practices, such as meditation and like learning the teachings of Buddhism, but they do have a separate set of rules in comparison to monks, because monks have like they abide by 227 rules or something like that, and nuns have 311.
Actually, it's for the monk. For the nun, it's about more than 300. Who have been at the Buddhist nun temple here in Houston? Viên Thông Tử. Only you, Alan? You know, right? It's huge. It's huge, bigger than my temple. So if they stay independently, they run everything like the monk. They have the same rights. They can accept the disciple. They can give the teaching. They can build the temple. Everything they do the same as a monk. That's quite different from Catholic nun, right? They cannot do, right? That's the choice there. And later on, we can see the charitable work of one of the famous Taiwanese nun, Chen Yin. We can learn about that later on. All right, number 16. Ryan.
Yeah.
Arena.
Yeah. So the question is, describe the artistic styles and architecture of Buddhist temples, monasteries, stupa, and pagoda. Buddhist monasteries can also be called vihara, are largely regarded as like living quarters or shelter for monks. Vihara is also a term that is regarded or referring to like a central hall made of stone with like various resting rooms, and often has a stupa in a central ceremonial place. In more modern temples, they have Buddhist statues in there. And stupas are like various mound-like structures that often contain like relics of Buddhist monks or nuns. Stupas were originally more sculptures, but now are more like buildings, essentially markers for like a holy site, commemorate a holy man who lived there, or the veneration and safeguarding of the relics. And then there's other terms, but I think the others should.
Okay, thank you. Arana, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk more about the monasteries. So they're usually like built outside of the city, like somewhat isolated, and they contain like separate buildings for monks and nuns. And they have like different chambers like clinics and restrooms, and they were designed to like take hygiene like seriously, so they're well like built. And they're maintained by like monks and visitors. And like the purpose of them is like to provide an appropriate setting for a community to like develop a well-rounded life and follow the like the rules of like monastic order.
So any special about the stupa, the temple? Oh, Eric, go ahead.
Yeah. So as far as the temples, they're designed after like emperor's palaces, and symmetry is kept in mind when building them. So they want to make them perfectly symmetrical. And as far as the stupas, they're used as like burial grounds sometimes. Yeah, they're place of burial or receptacle for religious objects. And like Ryan said, it's like a dome kind of. Yeah.
So who have not been at the Buddhist temple before? Some of you have not. So that's why I like to have that type of future report. So this is the opportunity for you to have first-hand experience, right? To go to visit those structures, those temple, right? So that you can know, especially in Houston, is diverse city area. So you have plenty Buddhist tradition for you to visit. Okay, this is your chance, and you write that report. Or you are the last one, Angel and Anne, please.
Okay, so our question says, give one example of a Vietnamese king who fervently supported Buddhism in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So the person that we found his name is Ly Thai Tho. I can't say it. But he was the founder of the Ly dynasty in northern Vietnam. And is gonna talk about what he did.
During his reign, he gave a lot of support to the Buddhist clergy and institutions and donated money to build pagodas in Vietnam.
You know his name?
Ly Thai Tho.
Yeah, the first Buddhist king. No, sorry, not the first Buddhist king, the one that developed the Buddhist kingdom in the 10th and 11th century. All right, let me share with you one of this verse. Okay, here. Can you see? What they call Trần Nhân Tông. He is one of the most famous Buddhist king. He was a king, and later on he dethroned to become Buddhist monk there. And he developed what they call the Zen tradition, the Yên Tứ, Trúc Lâm Zen set in Vietnam. He's very famous, and most of the Buddhists revere him. And if you later on, if you have time, if you have a chance to visit Vietnam, there's plenty of monastery over there. I'll introduce you guys. One of my friends, 40 years ago, he sit there with my friends there. we friends in high school in Vietnam. So anh Thuận, he's Thai. I just picked him up from airport this morning. He came from Viet. Actually, he flew to New York to visit his daughter, and he came here to visit me. He picked him up at the airport. So that's my classmate 40 years ago in Vietnam. So I invite him to come here. So that's why I give you guys the chance to have the online reputation. Who knows? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, you may miss them somewhere there. Or you can keep relationship. My classmate. Okay. So again, if you work well with your partner for that project, and if you want to do for final, let me know. I don't mind. That's the way you can learn each other. Okay. All right. So any more question? That's all for us today. Any more question? If you don't, if you want to have any question, come up to me. Otherwise, see you next Tuesday. Okay. Thank you. I should write everything.